Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another lesson on our CompTIA A course. In today's lesson, we're tackling an essential skill for every IT technician, troubleshooting the core hardware components of a computer system. Whether it's the motherboard, RAM, CPU, or power supply, these elements form the foundation of any device, and when something starts to fail, the symptoms can range from barely noticeable to outright alarming. Let's begin with a situation you'll likely encounter early in your tech career: power on self-test beeps. When a computer first powers on, it performs a quick diagnostic check of its essential hardware. If everything's working, you'll get a single beep and a successful boot. But if there's a problem, like bad RAM, an improperly seated CPU, or a failing motherboard, you'll hear a series of beeps. Now, sometimes the system powers on but hits a wall. You might encounter a proprietary crash screen. Think Windows' blue screen of death or Apple's spinning wheel of doom. These can point toward deeper hardware failures, memory issues, or overheating CPUs. Speaking of which, a blank screen on boot is another common symptom. Maybe you hear fans spinning, but nothing appears on the monitor. That could mean a faulty power supply, damaged motherboard, unseated RAM, or a failed CPU. Always start by reseating components and checking power delivery. Now let's shift to performance issues. If a user reports sluggish performance, one of the culprits could be faulty or insufficient RAM. Maybe one of the RAM modules has failed, or it's simply not enough for modern workloads. On the other hand, it could also be a CPU issue. Either it's overheating and throttling, or it's outdated for the demands being placed on it. Overheating is another big red flag. If the CPU cooling system isn't working properly, maybe a loose fan, dried out thermal paste, or a failed heatsink, temperatures can rise quickly, triggering automatic shutdowns or hardware damage. And then there's the unmistakable and serious symptom: a burning smell. If you ever smell electrical burning, shut everything down immediately. It could be a fried capacitor on the motherboard, a shorted out CPU, or a PSU that's about to fail catastrophically. Always inspect visually for signs of scorching or blown components. Lastly, there's the issue of random shutdowns. The system powers on, runs for a bit, then suddenly turns off. This could be due to overheating, a failing power supply, a loose motherboard connector, or intermittent RAM failure. Diagnosing these takes patience, but tools like hardware monitors and multimeters are your best friends. In summary, core hardware issues rarely fix themselves, and the symptoms are often your best clues. Whether it's a power-on self-test beep, a blank screen, or a burning smell, each sign points toward specific hardware failures. Knowing how to interpret those signs, isolate the cause, and act quickly is what separates a beginner from a pro. Thank you for joining us today, and see you soon.